Exciting update on my Red Galaxy Fishbone shrimp breeding adventures. Hey everyone, it's Ray from RW Aquarium Pages. For the past 3 years, I've been on the lookout for some high quality Red Galaxy Fishbone shrimp, preferably local bred if possible. This ensures that they have survived the import trip and die-off and are adapted to our local water. The water can be slightly different than overseas, even though if the GH, TDS, and KH are the same. The second choice will be buying some high quality imports. This will be costly because of the shipping, and the travel in the bag for 1 to 5 days won't be ideal for the shrimp. This will be the only way that I can obtain some of the newer and rare patterns. They are generally more advanced and ahead by many years in Asia and in Germany than in North America. But we're catching up. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a local breeder, so I had to search elsewhere. I did manage to find a breeder in Hong Kong, which worked out perfectly as I traveled there often. Unfortunately, due to COVID, my travel plans were put on hold, so back at square one. One of the great things about this hobby is you get to meet some pretty amazing people. In this small community, it stretches throughout the world, as far as Hong Kong and as close as Abbotsford in BC. My good friend and trusted breeder and importer of only high quality shrimp, Matt from Valley Aquatics, just so happens to have a thriving quality of F1 and F2 Red Galaxy Fishbone shrimp. F1 and F2 in genetics means generation 1 and generation 2 that's been locally bred. The advantage of this is they're used to our local water, and I can view the shrimp locally and pick them up without shipping. I contacted him and received a small colony around mid-November 2020. They all arrived in great shape, they were all crawling around the tank, pooping, and attracted to my introduced food immediately. All signs of healthy and happy shrimp. From my personal experience with shrimp, in the beginning of January, I could sense love was in the water, and I could feel and expect buried shrimp soon. Around the end of January, a month later, I saw the male shrimp doing their happy dance and swimming all around the tank. This meant there was a freshly molted female and they are ready for breeding. 2 months later, at the end of January 2021, I found 3 buried female shrimp. That's very exciting. That means the eggs have traveled from the saddle, the shrimp's back, to the swimmerettes area. That's super exciting for having the shrimp for around 2 months. I continued with my regular routine, and at the end of February they were still buried, but I could see the eyes forming within the eggs. Nothing to worry about as it's their first time. 3 months later, at the beginning of March, I found 10 to 15 tiny shrimplets. Some are bigger and some are smaller, as they grow at different rates. It was an amazing sight. The general rule is if you can find 1 shrimplet in the open, there's about 5 to 10 hidden. I started feeding more powdered foods daily to ensure that there's lots of food scattered, but not to overfeed and to pollute the water. I continue with my weekly 5% water changes as normal. As I like to do 5% weekly, it does refreshen and clean the water, but it's not as dramatic as 20 to 50%, where it can shock the shrimp and if the parameters are incorrect, cause the female to drop the eggs. More on this topic and what to do in a later video. The young shrimplet has a beautiful combination of galaxy spots and zebra patterns, which might form into a fishbone pattern when they're older. If not, they can be considered as culls by experts. There's still amazing red galaxy zebra, but we'll see what percentage are cull and what percentage are high quality, the same as the parents, the red galaxy fishbone with spider legs. Comment below when receiving juvenile shrimp. How long did it take for them to get buried and have shrimplets? If the shrimp came buried, that doesn't count. Any guesses to what percentage of my shrimp will be culls? Some experts predict as high as 90%.